I have wanted to do one of these videos for the longest time, but I've never had people to ask the questions. So today we are doing a YouTube Q&A with Drew Higgins, me. I'm very excited to do this. I got enough questions where I can actually make a proper video out of it. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first question is from John Coleman, 6768. And the question is, how long have I lived with my grandparents? So last August, I came back from camp and my parents they had moved in here. So I was kind of living with them as well. And then they moved out in, I want to say like September or something, to an apartment up in the mountains. So I was with them from August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, which is now, and then I leave again in May. So 9 months is how long I am and how long I've lived with them. Going on to the next question from Real Hurts. There are 3 questions from this person, and 2 of them kind of go together. So the first one is, why did you start a YouTube channel and what's your dream job? So I started a YouTube channel because it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I've never had anything particularly interesting to share. And this is actually my dream job. This is what I would love to do one day, which is I would love to. Right now, I don't quite have all the capabilities. I'm not that big of a YouTuber, but hopefully one day I can be a person who travels the world, travels to amazing locations, is sponsored, has affiliate links and all that stuff, and can live off the revenue of YouTube and maybe merch and all that stuff. That would be the dream. So that is one of the reasons why I started YouTube. And his last question is, how old am I? And I am 24. Going into the next person, we have Monsieur Buck Jones 2875. And he has 3 questions, which are, if you could travel anywhere and money was no object, where would you go? Okay, so I would definitely go to Switzerland, because the Swiss Alps, either in the winter or summer, either one. But definitely, I mean, it is such a beautiful place to go. So green, the mountains. I am a mountain person, so seeing the Matterhorn, that would be crazy. Getting to ski in the Swiss Alps would be just a dream come true. That would definitely be the number 1 place I would want to go. The next question from this person is, what is your favorite sport to play? So if y'all have watched my channel, y'all would definitely know it's basketball. My second is volleyball, and then my third is soccer. I grew up playing soccer. That was actually my main sport. And then I played church basketball, but I wasn't very good. And then I learned the most, and I'm not even joking, I learned the most from my first week in college playing basketball. I mean, there were so many different people, different play styles, and I had actually never played man-to-man defense. I had always played zone in church basketball. And so, I mean, my mind was blown the first week. And from there, I have just continued to love it. And you can always play basketball as well. You can play anything from 1s to 5s, and it's indoor, so weather doesn't affect it. You only need one other person to play. And even if you don't have another person, you can just shoot around. So it's a great sport to fall in love with, simply because you can always do it. And the last question is, what is my favorite sport to watch? And I don't really watch that many sports. But if I had to pick one, it'd be basketball. And even then, I usually just watch the highlights on YouTube. They never miss on those highlights. The next question is from Stacy Muff 964. And their question is, where do you want to be in 5 years or 8? And gosh, that's a hard one, because I'm more of a right now kind of person, because I don't have a lot of money. I don't even have a place to live. I would like to do those before I'm thinking way in the future. But just if I had to think, I'd probably say I want to be living on my own, have a stable job / career, hopefully in YouTube. That would obviously be the dream. Let's see, that's late 20s, early 30s. I would love to have a girlfriend by then, and hopefully maybe going into the marriage part of it. That would be the dream, but who knows? Next question is, Do you want to continue living in Raleigh, or do you have a dream location? So, dream location to live? No, I don't have a dream location to live. I've always been in Raleigh. I like it here. I'm not sure if I'd ever want to move. Like, I'm just saying want. I'm not sure if I'd want to move. I mean, Raleigh's a great place to live. A lot of things to do. It's close to the beach, close to the mountains, about 2.5 hours each way. So I guess that would be if my girlfriend or wife or whatever at that time would want to move somewhere else. I don't think I'd be opposed, but if it were just me, maybe I would explore somewhere else and try something new. But for now, Raleigh's the place. The next question from Stacy Muff 964 is, do you drink any kind of pop? And when I read this question, I thought it was funny because right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, we call it soda. And yes, I drink Coke, and then my second choice would be Dr. Pepper. Their next question is, what was your study in college? I majored in environmental science with a concentration in renewable resources. And then their last question is, do you have marriage in your future, or maybe this single life? So as I've mentioned, I would like to get married in the future, but first I gotta find a girlfriend. Moving into the next person's questions, we have D Second Born, and their question is, will you be taking us along on your summer camp job? And the answer is yes, I will. And I haven't quite worked out how I'm gonna do it because there is limited Wi-Fi up there and internet. They do have a Wi-Fi spot, but then let's see. So from like 8 to 10 o'clock, 8 in the morning to 10 o'clock not in the afternoon, at night, I'm doing stuff. So when I'm going to edit these things, when I'm going to upload them, how I'm going to upload them, that right now that's up in the air, and you're not allowed to have phones out either. So recording is going to be a challenge. So yes, I am going to bring y'all along, but how I'm going to do it, still don't know. So we are going to piece that together as we go. Their next question is, have you traveled outside of the U.S.? And the answer is yes, I have traveled outside the U.S. Twice, actually. And they were both for mission trips. One was to Peru and one was to Costa Rica. And their final question is, where would you like to visit out of the country or in the U.S.? For out of the country, obviously I've said Switzerland. That's my dream location. I would like to go to London, Australia, New Zealand. I would also like to go to Africa for like a safari trip. That would be really cool. And then I think there are probably some other places that I'm missing that I'd want to go out of the country. But for in the United States, I would like to go to New York, Texas. I've already been to Colorado, but I'd like to go back because those mountains are absolutely beautiful. And then Washington, because the forests there are beautiful. Going into the next person, Q Craig has one question, and it is, what is your goal to be on YouTube and why? Reasons for doing this. So my goal for YouTube one day would be to hit 1 million subscribers and to be able to support myself from YouTube. Why? Because I want to live. No. I would like to support myself off YouTube because I've never been one to want to sit behind a desk for 8 hours a day and mindlessly work. Some people can do it. I'm just not one of those people. And obviously the reason for starting the YouTube channel is so one day that I can support myself. Next we have Real Hunts, and their question is, how tall are you? I am 6'2". Our next question is from Off Grid Solitude, and their question is, what equipment do I use? So I don't really use a lot of fancy equipment. This is a tripod that I use. I use it all the time. You can tighten and loosen it right here, and you can go any direction you want. This thing comes off, nothing really interesting, nothing high tech or anything. And then I use my iPad for editing my videos. I use CapCut. And then for lighting, I have 2 lamps right here. I have a lamp over here, and I have a fan light up here. And I use natural light as I'm using right now. but I don't have any fancy big lights or anything. So, and then I also have another stand. Let's see, I will try to get it on here for you. So as y'all can see, this stand right here that you're on, that is also a stand that I'm using. It is very sturdy. It can hold an iPad as well. And then what I'm recording with right now is what I use the most is my iPhone 14 Pro Max. Not the newest, not the oldest. And then here it is. My GoPro. I use this sometimes, but it uses so much storage that it's irritating to use. So that is very few and far between. I might have to use it this summer. And then I also have my laptop, which I look at YouTube analytics and all that stuff on. So that is what I use for recording and editing. And then for storage, because I do keep a lot of footage, I use these. These are Samsung storage. They're a terabyte each. So I keep all the footage on there. Easy to upload, fast to upload. And I think that is it for all the equipment I use. Not very much, very simple. And maybe one day I'll upgrade, but as of now, I don't have those means, so we're gonna stick with this. Oh, and I don't use a microphone either. I just use the camera microphones. And so this is the screen is facing me, so I can actually see myself right here. I'm looking at myself right now. I'm looking at the camera right now. And the microphones are like right here, right where I'm pointing. And if you flip the camera around where I'm using the back camera, the microphones are facing the other way. So it's terrible. So I always film with the microphones facing me. Gives you the best audio. Moving into the last question of the day, we have BR Madden 89.5. And their question is, if you were king of the world for one day, what would you do and why? So if I was king for a day of the entire world, there's not a lot you can do in a day with all that power too. If I wasn't signing stuff, signing bills into action and all that stuff and having meetings and all that, we're going the fun route, okay? If I could do anything, I would probably want to know all the secrets of the world. I think that would be so cool. Things that are classified, things that no one has ever heard or have been like covered up or all that stuff. That would be so cool to know. Thank you guys for asking me questions. I really enjoyed doing this Q&A, and I hope to do this in the future one day when I have even more subscribers and there are more questions to answer. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.